Let me come back out and go back in. Yes, can you hear me now, guys? It's coming through my AirPods, so it might be a bit. The audio might not be great. Let me just come out and come back in again. Just bear with me 1 second. Okay, hopefully that audio is better. Yeah, let me just test it's back going through the microphone. Right, I'm going to switch to the. Hopefully that. Let me know, guys. Can you hear that? I've just put it through my microphone. Yeah, perfect. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. It's done that the last couple of times. Like Thomas, yeah, you remember like the last couple of times we've joined in the back. For some reason, it doesn't connect to this mic straight away, which is weird because I don't change the setup. Yeah, I was just saying that whilst I was on mute, I was just saying that I've been traveling for the last 10 days. I actually went back to the UK, so that's why there hasn't been a Sunday social. So yeah, I was in like London for 3 days, and then I went to my hometown of Manchester. So I actually met up with some really cool people whilst I was there, saw some really cool watches, which we will talk about. But as you can see, I am on my own here. So if you've got any questions you want to ask me, it's not got the full panel because this was a bit impromptu. So if you've got any questions you want to ask or any subjects you want me to cover, let me know. So let's talk about. There was some interesting watch releases that came out. I know everybody's talking about the Patek, aren't they? I'm not, unless anybody's got any specific questions about it. I'm not. Probably won't cover it because. Let's okay. Let me just. Let's definitely talk about this. We'll talk about this Timex. So let me just have. So CT said, "Is London getting safer for wearing a Rolex?" So I was actually very concerned about taking a watch to London. So I actually only took my Seiko watch. So this is that new Seiko. I got it from Market Long Island Watches, but that new Seiko, it's not new. It's about 2 years old, but it's that Seiko Solar Diver blue dial. Really cool. I just took this because I was a little bit worried, to be honest, and I was thinking, but I think I should have took my Bremont because I don't think people really know what it is. So I think I probably should have took my Bremont, but it was just one of those things to hassle with. And I really like this watch, this Seiko for traveling with. Yeah, I was a little bit concerned. I didn't feel uncomfortable in London whilst I was there, to be honest, but we also weren't out late at night. So who knows? But apparently, like the phone theft is super high in London. So I actually had a little thing off Amazon where you put it into the back between your phone case and it has a little ring on it. So I had that on a little bit of a cord, just so when I was looking at my phone, if somebody did snatch it, it was still attached to me. I don't know whether that was over the top, but who knows? It was. I didn't get my phone stolen, so let's have a look here. So Thomas, if you want to join me, I don't, don't feel pressured. But if you want to join, just you don't need to ask. So thoughts on the new SPB481? Let's have a look at that. I think I know which one this is. Let me just have a quick look. SPB481. I think, yeah. I've got some thoughts on this. In fact, we have a group message going on, which has a number of like YouTube creators in. It's just so we can share ideas, but it has people, on the live stream and stuff like that. So I posted this in, and if everyone knows Peter, not so obvious watches or Pete McConville watches, we got into a little bit of a heated debate about this last night because I think this is a homage of the Tag Aqua Racer, right? In fact, not only do I think it's
a homage of a Tag Aqua Racer. I actually think it's got some elements of the last of the Heuer dive watches, the last of the Heuer branded dive watches. So let me just show you what I mean. Just let me pull up this image of a Tag Aqua Racer. It's funny because I went to see a Tag Aqua Racer in the Tag store, the new Aqua Racer, and I think it is by far one of the best tags that I think I've ever seen. So if we look at, let me just pull up. There's one that it really, really looks. Here it is. Here it is. Here it is. Okay, let's just pull this up. So if you look at this Tag Aqua Racer here, right, and then so if you look at the hands, the slightly octagonal dial, octagonal bezel, which is a trademark of the Aqua Racer. They have these octagonal, and then you look at this, similar hands. Similar sort of octagonal bezel, not the K shape isn't that far off either. So the hand with the sort of with the tag sort of shield logo inverted on the end. I think this is a bang on homage of the Aqua Racer, but let me know what you think. Previous generation Aqua Racer. Let me know what you think. So that was and Pete McConville was quick to correct me and say they really didn't look alike, but I still think they do. So let me know if you agree with me. So we'll go between this new Seiko and then this version of the Aqua Racer. Okay, what else we got? It's like the new Marine Master and Aqua Racer had a baby. Yes, exactly what I was thinking. And even the vintage Heuer previous dive watches had the shrouded crown guard like that. Does it say how much? 1,100. Okay, I mean that seems okay, but let's see what movement they've put in it. 6R55. Okay, all right. This is not the 4R35, which is good. Okay, this is still ridiculous to me. This is I cannot get over Seiko still putting like plus 15 to plus 25 to minus 15 seconds a day. I know they don't perform like that, and everybody like, oh, they perform much better, but I never understood why they do that. They should be proud to have a watch. You know, the Japanese are proud on precision, but Seiko always put something silly in there. Specs on the movements. Okay, let's have a look. So, Von Krull, thank you for joining. Today I received one of those fancy pants Formex fine adjustable clasps, using it with a cheaper sailcloth strap. And it's awesome, expensive, but awesome. So did you just buy the Formex strap on its own, or did you buy have you got a Formex watch as well? Let me know. Okay. So let me just show you. Let's just see some of the. I'm going to show some of the watches that I saw online. So let me stop that. Let me pull up these watches that I saw. I also met, for any other YouTube fans out there, I also met with Ben from Ben's Watch Club. So that was really cool to meet him in person. We've collaborated on stuff before, but I'd never actually met him face to face. And he's exactly as he is online. Really cool guy. Let me just show you some of these pictures of. Let me just share my screen. Pull up some of these images of watches that I saw. Okay. Let me just pull up these. So this was the first. Speaking of Tag Aqua Racers, I met up with, if anybody knows, hopefully it's okay that I show a picture of him, but if anybody knows this guy, he is Sam, who he shows up often in live stream comments as Sam D. He has like a picture of the Joker on. I met up with him because he is also from Manchester. There's another like link between us that as well. But yeah, I met him. Such a cool guy, great watch collector. And what was really good is that I'm always a little bit cautious about going into watch shops. I feel like that unless I'm buying something, or at least I have the money to buy something, I don't often just go in and chat. But Sam was like, no fear. He's just going in, went into all the watch shops, had a great chat with everyone. So we spent a lot of time in the tag store. So there was a tag aqua racer. That was the solar graph one, which was okay. But one of the highlights was I got to see this new Tudor with the blue dial, the tuner chronograph, and the Jubilee bracelet. What's interesting about the Jubilee bracelet is that I haven't got a good picture of it, but instead of Rolex, where the Jubilee bracelet is sort of like it's half a semicircle. I don't know what you would call that shape, but essentially it's sort of like half a semicircle. The side of this Jubilee bracelet, the links are complete ovals, so it's polished on the front and back, whereas on a Rolex Jubilee it is flat on the back, whereas this is a really clever. So I would say it's even more slightly refined than the Jubilee bracelet I had on my date just, which is weird. So that was a really cool, and that blue is just absolutely spectacular in person. This could be one of the best Tudor chronographs that I've ever seen. I've never been a particular fan of this, the white or the black one. I mean, I've been a fan of them, but not that I would buy them. But this is the first chronograph that they've done where the bezel has a color. The bezel is color matched to the dial. All of the others, including the pink one, all had aluminium black bezel. So that's another quirk with this. I think that's why it looks so different than the other chronograph. So let me know, guys, what you think of this Tudor chronograph in the chat. And then we'll jump through all of these, and then we'll go through it. I had a look at the Tudor Pro, which was a great watch. I saw this. Oh, we flipped around here. Saw this. This is covered in plastic, so you're not getting the full majesty of it. But this is the recreation or the reissue of what was called the Dark Lord, I believe, the Heuer Monaco Dark Lord, and this is the one that was made very famous by George Bamford. This is his like Grail tag, but he's never bought one of the original ones because I think he mentioned it on one of the About Effing Time podcasts where they're so expensive now that even he can't justify it. So that was pretty cool. That was a recreation of the Dark Lord, and then that new Aqua Racer, loved it, absolutely loved it. First tag that I've ever really lusted after. I think I would go with the blue dial. Yeah, f8.5. Yeah. Do you know what? They're not actually that big. This is titanium. Yeah, thanks for the question, Thelonious Monk. This is titanium as well, and in fact, we saw this one. There was a titanium skeletonized Monaco, and then they had another one, which was the. Oh God, I'm gonna forget it now. It's not the Monaco. It's another one that's slightly rounded. That it's square, but it's slightly rounded. Somebody will know the name of it. That was titanium as well. So this wasn't. This felt fine. I mean, I did have it on wrist briefly, but not. I didn't take a picture of it. But this fit really well. This one, and then one we definitely need to talk about was, why does it keep skipping? Let me just go back there. I saw the new first Omega in space. This is the one that I was not convinced when I saw the pictures about the loom, and I have to say, in person, I don't like the loom either. I think they've gone too heavy with the aged look of it. This is also, you can't really see the dial properly. The last three watches that I've shown have all been covered in that protective plastic, so you're not really getting the full majesty of it. But the really cool thing about this was that it has a sapphire crystal on it. Do you know what? This is a great question. What did I think about the Cyclops on the Aqua Racer? So let's go back to that. So the Cyclops on the Aqua Racer, this is covered in plastic, so it looks like it's all fingerprints, but you can sort of see the plastic, the edge of the plastic there is all covered in plastic. What's weird about the Cyclops is it's internal. So it's internal. If you've ever seen, if you're not familiar with an internal crystal magnifier, there's one on the AP Royal Oak Offshore has an internal magnifier, so it's on the inside, so it's completely, it's flush it's smooth on the top, but it's on the inside. The only thing that I will say about it, I think this is an optical illusion. When you're looking at a date that has 2 numbers, so like 12 there has 2 numbers, it looks fine. But when it's a single number, to my eye, it looked like the Cyclops was slightly off. So I don't know if it's the way that the number appears on the date window is then magnified that makes the internal Cyclops look like it's slightly off. It was a really weird optical illusion. In fact, I advanced it to this 12 because I think it was on 8 before the 8th of the month, and I advanced it to 12. It was an odd optical illusion, so I was like, I wonder if it's the same with 2 numbers, and it wasn't the same. So when it's a single number, but I actually don't mind it. I don't think it's necessary particularly to have it internal thing, but I don't mind it. But also I don't mind the Cyclops on the Rolex. I don't mind it on the King Turtle. I'm fine with Cyclopses. They can get a little bit dusty, but obviously you wouldn't have that problem with this Aqua Racer. But I liked it, and I like this new. This bigger hour hand makes all the difference for me. I think this is the winner, and the fact that it's got a wave dial instead of a decking dial. This, for some reason, it's just this combination of the way this new one looks that's really kind of floating my boat at the moment. So yeah, great question. Okay, let's go back to the first Omega in space. So one thing about this one, which you will not be able to see, I don't think, unless you see the watch in person, is the sapphire crystal on it has been machined to look. Oh, there's Thomas. Thomas!
Hi, Sam. How are you doing? Do you have a good holiday?
Yeah, all good. Yeah, all good. Thanks for joining me.
Yeah. Good stuff.
Yeah, I feel weird because I'm talking a lot, and normally when I'm doing my panel show, because I'm I'm letting everybody else have a go. But I was just talking about this first Omega in space, and the thing that I think that is a struggle to see is that the sapphire is very heavily machined to look like the Hesselite. So you know how the Hesselite has a very pronounced dome to it,
right?
On the normal Speedmaster, they've made the sapphire look like that, which is a really great visual.
A nice aesthetic, sort of.
Yeah, really like that. But I still think this loom is too much. What's jarring is the fact that the chronograph hands are so white that it really offsets. It really makes it obvious that they given this forced age look to the
really
loom.
A displaced look sort of thing. Yeah. Just going back to the Aqua Racer with the wave dial. I mean, wave dials seem to be coming back, don't they? I mean, Seiko have done a wave dial, haven't they? And you've got this Aqua Racer, but did it all stem from Omega with the SPB481, do you think?
Well, this is very much like the waves of a sea, isn't it? It very much looks like
it's like a chip bark dial, isn't it? It's
it is. It is a deep engraving. I saw this one, and then I don't think I've got a picture of it. I saw this one, and then also the GMT version of this, which is, I guess you would say, was Sprite if it was Rolex. So with the black and green GMT, and that had a very pronounced. But I think this, if I was going to buy this watch, for example, I think I would go for the blue version, because even though I'm a huge green dial fan, I think the blue has more of a the waves are more. There's more contrast in the rays. Yeah, it just visually it looks better. But this tag store that I went into, which was the tag store in Manchester, so shout out to them. They were really cool with us. They'd sold all the blue ones. They'd sold 2 that day. So the blue version of
Really?
this is the big seller. Yeah.
How did you find shopping for watches in the UK compared to shopping in the US? I mean, was
You know
it
what?
was it more compact and condensed in the UK to sort of like more watches to look at, more boutiques to look at, compared
Yeah.
to a wider stretch, wider to get to in America? I mean,
Yeah.
further to travel to get to a store in America, or did you find
Yeah.
that you had the same sort of balance?
So a lot of these stores, so like Omega, Tag,
The big
Breitling,
brands, yeah.
they're all usually certainly in the mall near me, which is the Mall of Millennia in Orlando. They're all together anyway. So, but
Right.
Manchester does have Manchester has a lot of watch stores in one condensed area. So, which is St Anne's Square. So in St Anne's Square, you've got big goldsmiths, you've got the Mappin Web, you've got the Watches of Switzerland is there, and then you've got the boutiques that are linked to that. You've even got in St Anne's Square, there's the Watches of Switzerland has Patek in there. I was amazed at how many models like I was just showing that first Omega in space. They had that in the Omega store, and it was available to buy. It wasn't a display model. They had the white
Really?
dial. They had the white dial Speedmaster as well. That was, in fact, let me just show. I think I've got a picture of it. Yeah, there's the window of it. They had
Right.
the white dial.
So they're not just exhibition pieces; these are for sale.
They're for sale. So
Right.
you could have bought that. They took it out the window when we saw it. They'd taken it out the window. So I was just saying that I met up with Sam D, who is he pops up as Sam D on the when he's in the chat. He has like met up with him, and he's like great. He was great to go with because he's just super confident and just goes into these watch stores, which I'm always like a little bit trepidatious. But the yeah, they had all these. It was out of the window. This was one day that I took this, and it was in the window. But the next day, it was out the window. I said, "Sam, oh, they must have sold it." And then the guy came out and said, "Oh, you're looking for the first Omega in space, are you?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Come on, let me show you. Somebody's bought it." So they took it out the window because somebody had bought it by then. But they were absolutely that Omega store in Manchester was fantastic. I have bought a watch from them before. I bought my wife's Omega from there, but they were just nice. That's what I found with a lot of certainly the Manchester watch stores. Everyone we went into, we were like, look, we're just, we're looking, we're not really, buying, we're just interested. All of them, like Tudor boutique, just spent ages with us. The lady in the I forget that, I'm awful with names, but the lady in the Breitling was awesome. Like we were talking, she was taking us through all the models. She was talking about all of the stuff. It was a really, really cool day, and I'm glad that kind of Sam had the confidence to go in there. One of the interesting things with let's just see if we've got anything else coming in the chat. One of the interesting things about this watch, I forget this what they call this one. It's got the honeycomb dial.
Oh, the spy rate. Is that the spy rate one?
So what they were saying in Omega is that they have now got this one is available to buy, and we were sort of like, oh yeah, because it was for a while it was, and he said, yeah, what happened was loads of people pre-ordered it or expressed an interest in this watch, and it took so long that when they dropped the watch, they dropped it at the same time as the white dial. So a bunch of people who had the Spyrite one cancelled it and went for the white dial. Swapped the orders to the white dial. So that's why they had one in the window. He said it was just a weird timing that by the time that whatever the delay with the Spyrite one, if that's what it's called, I think you're right there. But whatever the delay was, actually by the time it had come out, everyone had seen Daniel Craig with the white dial, and they're like, oh, actually, I quite like the look of the white dial. So it was funny that so basically, I think this is the trifecta here of the 3 most desirable Speedmasters, and they all happen to be in the Omega store in Manchester.
Isn't it funny how long the sort of period is of hype and buzz around a watch before it moves on to another one? How long do you think it'll be? How long do you think it'll be before the hype and buzz around the first Omega in space will move on to another thing? You know, and
Yeah, it was weird. I think the first Omega in space, it's cool. Like the case is unique. I don't know if it's unique, but the case is different than
it's
what
got
you
the flat
see.
lugs. It's got the flat lugs. It's got the flat link bracelet. It's got the. It hasn't got the lyre lugs, has it? It's the twisted lug. It's
Yeah,
got
they're not
flat
twisted.
lugs. It's got the. It's different.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know. Do you know what in the pawnbrokers around the corner in St Anne's Square? They had. I think I've got a picture of it. Did I get the picture of the pawnbrokers? Yeah. So this is a pawnbrokers which is round the corner, and it was funny because the guy was outside the pawnbrokers, and I was waiting for. It was the day that I met. I think it was the day I met Sam or I met Ben from Ben's Watch Club. I saw this. This is that pulsation dial. They had one of the pulsation dial. The guy came out and he said, "Oh, is there anything interesting?" I said, "Well, that's quite a rare one. This pulsation dial." He's like, "Oh, I didn't realize you had the pulsation dial."
Is that the CK859?
Yeah. If you look, it's got the.
No, not CK859. The CK2998. Yeah, it is.
Yeah. I don't know the exact model number, but the one that actually really caught my eye, and I've cut the picture off here, but was this broad arrow here. I sort of cut the picture off, but it's the broad arrow.
Is that the trilogy one? The trilogy 57, maybe?
No, it wasn't. It's not the trilogy one. It's not got age loom on it or anything. It was just that broad arrow from a few years ago, 2008, and it was only £4,000, which I thought at the time, I thought, oh, I'll check it out on Chrono 24. But that was surprising. That's a bang on about what they're going on Chrono 24. So I wish I had the money, but I wasn't kind of. I wish I had the money because it's got everything that I like on it. It's got the date, and all of that on there.
So I mean, you had a Speedmaster about 4 or 5 years ago, didn't you? And you sold it, didn't you?
Yeah. I mean, that was my.
Do you have a lure to buy a Speedmaster again after seeing all these?
I mean, I like that broad arrow. To be honest, I did like that broad arrow. I like the 57. I like the Clooney, the George. Let's just pull it up. Let me just remove this and I'll share the screen. I like the 57, but I just cannot. Let's go on Omega watches. So let me just see. So there's a broad arrow. I like this. Would it be under heritage models? Maybe. I love this one, or the green one. This 57. It's got the broad arrow. It's got the date, the bicompact.
Yeah.
But 9,500 is just absolutely wild to me.
It's a lot of money, that, isn't it? It's a lot of money.
Yeah. It's absolutely wild. I can't. I'm sure there's a reason for it, but I just cannot. So this that's in gold there. I wonder, because sometimes they keep the old ones on there, so I wonder if they've got the actual old. It wouldn't be under Moonwatch, would it? Maybe it would. The broad arrow, but yeah, it's absolutely wild to me, that 9,500. I just cannot fathom how it's. I mean, I can't. The way that Speedmasters have gone up in price anyway is.
I know. You used to be able to get one for about 4,000. A few years ago. Now you're talking 7 or 8.
Yeah,
almost.
Exactly. I mean,
almost double.
Yeah, I mean, I bought mine off eBay back in 2000. I bought mine in 2008 actually, but it was a 1993 model. I bought it off eBay, which is Yeah, which at the time that was the most expensive thing I've ever bought off eBay, and I was, you know, I'd had a few pints, and I was like, oh, immediately I was like, oh my god, what have I done? You know, I've been swindled or whatever, but it turned up and it was exactly like that. Let's have a look. Yeah, so the 57 is my personal favorite. Yeah, I really like it, but I just can't. I don't understand why they are 9,000. I do not understand why they are 9,500. I'm sure probably to do with the hand wind coaxial
I think
movement,
it's
maybe.
I think it's these new coloured dials. They've done a red one, they've done a green one, they've done a. I think the original one that came out in the trilogy edition, you can buy that used for a good few thousand off, I think.
Yeah, so that was kind of this similar to this one, wasn't it? I think.
Yeah.
Was it? But this has got that Fotina on it as well, which. Yeah, I prefer the Heritage 300 model. Yeah, so that broad arrow definitely took my fancy. But yeah, they were awesome with us in the Mega Store in Manchester. Same with the Tech Store. Then we went into the Watches of Switzerland, which had Patek. We didn't take any photos in there, but they had Hublot that they were discounting like nobody's business. The Hublot in there, so I think Hublot must be struggling.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, so here's so Jean-Claude Biver says the trilogy is around 10k Aussie. Let's have a look on Chrono 24 at those Omegas. So let me you probably see some of the stuff that I've been looking at. So there's actually look at that. There's one 4,700 and
Yeah.
Omega
You see what I
57
mean, they
Japan.
they don't hold the value. I mean, shout out to Jean-Claude Bieber. Good to see you, my friend. Shout out to Von Cruel, Thelonious Monk. I think I saw Thelonious Monk on a Watch Time New York video with Skylar. Skylar, what's he called? Santana. On a watch wind up video. So
Oh,
you missed all the wind up stuff, haven't you, Sam?
I did, yeah. Yeah, I did, yeah. There's that broad arrow. This is what that broad arrow was, $4,000 there. So I might have to let me just add that to the cheekily add that to the thing. Yes, I did. This is that blue Acura Racer that I was talking about, the blue dial.
Yeah.
I think I would probably get it in that one if I was getting one. Yeah, I did miss a lot of the wind up stuff. Hopefully on Sunday, guys, I'm going to try and get some of the try and get one of the Christopher Ward guys on. I'll try and get Peter at Jack Mason, or I'll try and get some of the guys that are actually there. Yeah, it was just a weird. I went last year. It was just I had to go back to the UK for my mother-in-law's birthday, so I couldn't really like slope off to New York at the weekend. Even though it looked just from what I've seen, it looked like the venue was better than last year.
It looked like it was heaving from what I've seen on the videos. It looked like it's absolutely heaving. Thousands of people. Just go back to the Tudor, the blue Tudor. What did you think of that? The blue Tudor chronograph.
It was fantastic. The blue dial, that blue is just beautiful. And then they were telling us that it's the first time that they've ever color matched or done a bezel insert for that Heritage Chrono, whatever it's called, that wasn't black. Even the pink one had a black tachymeter, but this had a blue one, and I think that really tied it together. And also that Jubilee bracelet, I don't know if you heard me talk about it at the start.
The 5-link,
the 5-link bracelet.
They're not calling it Jubilee. They're not calling it Jubilee Tudor. They're not allowed to call it Jubilee. I don't think.
I don't know if I've got. I haven't got one here, but the way that the Jubilee, the Rolex Jubilee, is sort of a semicircle, isn't it? It's flat on the back. It's machined on the back to be completely flat. whereas this was ovals. So it's like
right, yeah.
not beads of rice, but it was finished on the front and back. They've actually done an amazing job of it.
That's how the vintage Rolex ones were. They're ovals.
Oh, when they were like the pressed metal.
Yeah, when the sort of the vintage ones. They were ovals of oval rings, sort of almost.
Yeah, I wonder if it shows it on. I wonder if it shows it on Tudor's website. Let's just have a look here. So this is it. The images do not, the pictures do not do this justice. Let's see if it's got a picture of the bracelet from the side. Probably won't, will it? Let's just have a look. Yeah, it's showing. You can maybe a little bit see it there at the bottom. You see how it's sort of oval there at the bottom. Let's see if there's a better. That's it. That's the only image they've got. So it looks like it's similar to the Rolex Jubilee, but it's actually more of an oval.
You can see that it doesn't protrude out as much as the Rolex one. It's a bit flatter. It's more. Yeah. It looks lovely, doesn't it? It looks gorgeous. I'm yet to see one myself, but
yeah, it was really, and there was plenty. They had it in stock as well. I mean, you could go in and buy that. It was interesting because the watch shops seem to have more variety in them in the UK. I'm not sure why that is. I mean, the tag store is only a tiny store in Manchester, and it had pretty much. I mean, I don't know the tag catalog that well, but it had pretty much everything. It's funny. I actually saw two interesting things happen this week. There was one was today. I was in the post office. And this guy, we were posting my wife's passport back to the UK, and it's the lady said they said, "Oh, you need to fill out this form for international. You need to go over there." So I went over there, and the guy next to me was like, "Oh, where are you posting that to England?" And he was English, but he was wearing the skipper, the tag skipper. And I was like, "Oh, wow, you've got the glass box tag skipper." And he's like, "Oh, yeah. Totally random." So I don't often bump into English people near where I live. And to have like the tag skipper. So that was interesting. And then when we flew back on Monday, and we were really jet lagged. But it was, when you have to go out and you have to go to the supermarket because you've got nothing to eat in. We went to the supermarket, but still in our kind of clothes that we were on the plane with. So we looked awful. I had a cap on, but all crumpled. I was wearing a crumpled shirt, and we're looking at the pita breads, which they call pita breads over in the US for some reason. But we're looking at the pita breads, and this guy comes up to me and says, "Oh, can I ask you a question?" And I thought I was in a supermarket. Like, he's going to ask me about which is the best pita breads or what, I was thinking, because we were sort of looking between the two, and I was expecting him to be like, "Oh, which is the best pita bread, or what do you?" He says, "Oh, his name's Thomas." And if he's watching, a big shout. He's like, "Do you make YouTube videos?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Oh, yeah, I watch you all the time." And I'm like,
"Oh, brilliant!"
Yeah. So that's the first time this. In fact, the guy
shout out to Thomas.
Yeah, shout out to Thomas. Yeah. So because we're not in like metropolitan Orlando, we're in a suburb. So also it's weird. It's funny because there's another YouTuber that shops at there, not a watch YouTuber, but one of the Disney YouTubers always shops in there, and I always see him. But yeah, it's quite the hive of activity. The Publix in Lake Nona. So yeah, it was that was so cool. The first time the second time that I'd been noticed in the wild, and the first time I'd been in Manchester, the guy in the pawnbrokers who'd come out to ask me about the Omega, because he was like, "Oh, you know a bit about Omegas, do you?" And I'm like, "Oh, I said, "Oh yeah, I run a YouTube channel." I said, I knew that was you." He said, "I watched you for something for like a how-to video," and he pulled out his phone. He was subscribed to me and everything. So it was weird, I've been recognised at watch events before, of course, because it's a small thing. But that was the first time. Yeah, another cool Thomas. Look at me, I'm collecting cool Thomases. First time I'd ever been recognised in the wild, and I love it because at Wind Up, my wife was with me, and she was also with me at the supermarket, and I love winding her up about it. I'm like, oh, you're married to a celebrity. And she's like, oh, you're not that famous. I'm like, well, I said, I just got recognised in this. I said, I said to her, I was like, oh, I'm gonna have to start wearing like sunglasses and a baseball cap in the supermarket, aren't I? So I can just get my shopping done without being, hounded for autographs.
So what were the other new releases you were looking at?
Yes, we looked at the Aqua Racers, looked at the Tudor. We saw. What else did we see? We looked at
a couple of thin watches, weren't there? There were a couple of thins that were released.
Yeah, we did. We looked at the Zin. They had one of the Zin El Primero Chrono Sports. They had one of those in the pawn shop, in the pawnbrokers. But we went into Watches of Switzerland, and they had that Defy Diver, but not the new one.
Oh, the Zenith, yeah.
Yeah, in their pre-owned. They also had a Bamford Bremont as well. And I actually went into Bremont as well. I went into the Bremont store. Todd!
Hey! Wrong camera.
Hey, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you doing, sir?
Yeah, all good, all good. Looks like you're there's a helicopter above you. You've just landed from your celebrity helicopter.
Get to the chopper.
Yeah, you've got a little I was just talking about my my trip to the US. I got to see quite a few different watches, and so we were just talking about that. Yeah, saw the first Omega in space, which was the new
yes, you got
Omega
to see that. Well, I'm gonna change this. What did you think?
So there's a couple of really amazing things about it. The case is amazing. The size of it is good. The way that the sapphire crystal has been machined to have that same extremely pronounced dome effect that the Hesalite has was cool, and they'd machined it so it didn't distort the dial like the Hesalite doesn't either as well. So you would be forgiven for thinking it was the Hesalite if you just saw it in hand. Yeah. I mean that's something that I guess they can't really capture in photographs. But it was just the lume for me. The lume is jarring, seeing it so dark on the dial, especially in contrast with the two of the sub-dial hands, which are in white as well. So yeah, that was the only thing that was a little bit jarring. But they had some amazing watches in that. They pretty much, I was just telling Thomas, they had the white dial Speedmaster for sale, and then they also had the I forgot what were we calling it, Thomas? The honeycomb dial Speedmaster that everyone was waiting ages for.
Oh, okay.
Spirate. Well, it's the one with the Spirate. It's not called the Spirate one, is it? But it's got the Spirate system. It's got the Spirate.
Let's just see what they're calling
it. I don't know what they call it actually.
Speedmaster. Is it under a Dark Side of the Moon? No, it's not under Dark Side. I actually saw they did have for sale in the Watches of Switzerland. They had for sale used a pre-owned version of my favorite Speedmaster of all time, which is the Grey Side of the Moon.
Oh, those are big boys too.
Yeah. They are 42 or 44.
I think they're 44. Are they 44 or 45?
Yeah.
So they had this one, this Super Racing. They had this one in stock.
Super Racing.
Yeah, and I was telling Thomas before that the guy in the Omega store, which I can't remember his name, but he was so great with us. He got the first Omega in space out and showed it us, let us look at it. But he was saying that loads of people had this on order, but by the time that they actually got released, it was it coincided with the white dial, so he said a lot of people actually switched to the white dial when they saw it. So he actually said that. So that's why they had one of these in stock. Somebody had ordered it, but then they switched to the white dial.
Switch to the other one. Okay. And they were selling this new, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And
I guess. Yeah.
Yeah. Let me show you. Let me just stop sharing and let me show you the images because I took a picture in the store of it. So
yeah,
they kind of had the trifecta there, and all of these were available at that time. We actually went in the neck. I took this picture through the window, but by the time we'd gone in, they'd actually pulled this one out of the window because somebody had bought it there and then. Somebody bought it and they were storing it in the back, so it wasn't actually in the window. Because it was funny because we were looking in the window and then they saw us, and then as we opened the door, they went, "Oh, you're looking for the first Omega in space?" We're like, "Yeah," and they're like, "I've got it in the back." And then Todd, the pawnbrokers around the corner had your
they got my CK 2998.
Yeah, they had your pulsation dial. Look at that, 8,499. So it's definitely
actually
gone up quite
holding its
not a
value,
bad
isn't
price.
it? That. Yes.
Yeah, that's in pounds as well.
Oh wait, that's in pounds. Okay, I was going to say these were trading. I thought these were trading around 9 to 10.
Yeah,
now.
So that would have been right. Yeah,
for US dollars, and I did not pay that. So this is one of the deals where I bought this. Actually I got a discount on it when I bought it because it was the last one that was at the little Switzerland in St. Thomas. And I got a little bit of a deal on it. So I'm happy with this return. Yeah. Beautiful.
Yeah. The guy actually came out. I was telling Thomas before, the guy was he was at the front door of the pawn shop. He's like, "Oh, anything you like looking at?" And I said, "Oh, that's quite a rare Omega you've got there." And he's like, "Oh, is it?" I said, "Yeah, it's got a pulsation dial, a pulsation bezel on it." And he's like, "Has it?" And then he came over and looked. He's like, "Oh, you're right." He said, "I didn't even know that." And then I saw this. I've cut it off here, but this broad arrow at the top here, the 1957.
See, I've got that one too.
I loved it. I loved it in person. Yeah, I actually, if I was going to buy another Omega Speedmaster, it'd be this one because it's got the date and everything on it.
It's got the date and it's got a lot of water resistance.
Yeah.
Too.
Oh, has it?
Yeah. And I think it has the 3133 coaxial.
Yeah. Yeah, it's got the. It's actually. I'm gonna bloody talk myself into buying it. There's one on. There's one on Chrono for $4,000.
Mm-hmm. I saw one for 36.
Sam's gonna get a Speedy again.
Oh yeah.
Well, actually, the one I have, which which runs like crazy, runs great. That's the one I had the man cave leather strap on the Omega Deployant, and I've worked on that one for a little bit, and it's in great shape. But when you're ready, let me know. I may let that one go.
Oh, okay.
The 57. Yeah. I may let it go to get something else.
Okay. All right. Well, yeah, we'll definitely have a little talk about it. I'll have to. I'm due to shift some more stuff as well, so I should hopefully.
Thelonious Monk's asking about the Echo and Neutra Rivenera. Now I don't know about that watch. I haven't seen that before. Haven't seen that, Thelonious, but I'm going to Watch Pro Salon in London on the 2nd of November, and Echo Neutra going to be there. So I'll keep my eye out for that one and report back.
Let's have a look. It's so I keep getting ribbon. Here we go. Is this what we're looking at here? Oh, okay. Yeah, okay.
I haven't seen that.
I have seen these. These were at Wind? I wasn't at Wind Up, but I think these were at Wind Up. Somebody was wearing one of these, weren't they? Interesting. So it's like a very industrial.
The Cartier tank or a Reverso.
Yeah, Reverso style, isn't it?
I do like the look. You're right. It's like an industrial version of one of those. I like the look.
Does it say movement is a Solita Swiss ETA 7001 manual wind.
Oh. It looks very thin, so that explains that. I didn't know if it was going to be quartz or not. So it's a center second, or rather, it's a small seconds manual wind. That's a nice watch.
I like the owl hand.
Yeah.
So good call on this one, and the price is very reasonable. It seems. Right, 1,400 or something. 14. Yeah, 1,490.
Yeah.
What did you think to Thelonious? Did you like it?
That's a great username, by the way.
It is, isn't it? Thelonious Monk, what a piano player.
Yeah. What a talent.
But I'm not too sure about
6
it.
millimeters.
6 millimeters. Wow.
I'm not too sure about it. The way they've done the mini track on the outside. It's a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. I see what you're saying. I mean, I like it. It's a little bit of Art Deco.
Yeah, it is. You're right.
I mean, yeah, you're right. It's very much a personal taste thing. I like it's kind of like I got a Breguet version of an hour hand, kind of.
It has, yeah.
Yeah, and it's got a straight fence post minute hand.
That's what I like about it.
Yeah.
I actually went into just to let's just see if I can let me remove this, and then I've got some more photos. Just see if I've got. So I went to this famous watch place. God, what's it called? Barton Arcade.
Burlington Arcade.
Burlington Arcade. Thank you, Thomas. God, I remember like a memory lapse there. They were having a James Bond thing, so they had this fiberglass. They had the fiberglass Aston Martin. They also had an Omega, a rare watch dealer on the very end of it, and he has all these mil spec Omegas in the window. Yeah, it's fantastic. And I went in there. They had a Cartier tank in the window, and I've been trying to convince my wife to like the tank, but she doesn't. And I was like, oh, how much is that tank? He's like £13,000. I'm like, wow, is it a rare one? He's like, yeah.
Whoa.
And I asked him about the new first Omega in space. I said, oh, what do you think about the aged loom? And he says, well, I only collect vintage Omegas where basically where the loom is aged naturally type of thing. So I thought it was quite funny.
Yes, they've earned the aged loom.
They've earned the aged loom. But this was it was one of those. I should have took more pictures actually, but it was one of those things where I felt a little bit weird. But yeah, this is an amazing place. There's even a shop here that's got like 4 or 5 Richard Milles in the window. There's also a Rolex dealer, and it has all of the Rolexes in the window and the date, so it has them in date order.
Birth years, yeah.
You can easily look for your birth year, but the problem is that they're all like my birth year one was an aged Pepsi. And I was like, I'm not even going to go bother asking how much that is.
My birth year one is a sundial. So, yeah. It's
speaking of that, I don't know. I keep getting hit up by this brand to do. I'm not going to do a review, but let me just see if I can actually find the name. But the watch is essentially in the case of the watch is like a rock. I don't know whether it's supposed to be, whether it's an actual rock or whether I don't think it would be a meteorite, but it's like a rock. Let me just see if I can actually. They're hitting me up every day, like, oh, please, would you review this? And I'm like, here we go. Where's
so years and years ago did a rock watch. It was
they did a rock watch, didn't they? They did a wood. They did a
I've seen one in the flesh,
watch, didn't they?
Yeah.
Let me see if
cool.
it's one of those things where I'm definitely not going to be able to find it now. But it's so funny because some of the stuff that I get hit up daily with watch requests for doing watches, but also really like obscure stuff. Like, oh, would you like to? Like, I got an email from the Museum of Illusion the other day asking whether I would like to be a guest at the Museum of Illusion. But I don't know how I would possibly. How would I possibly spin that into like a watch. I think they're just, and they always start off with stuff like, "Oh, I really enjoy your YouTube channel, and I've been watching it for ages. Would you like to review this face cream?" And I'm like, how do you equate?
You'd have to bring the mystery dial watches like JLC made and other manufacturers.
Yeah.
That's a watch you'd bring if you had one.
Yeah, of course I can't find this now. It's getting that time in the US where every other email is election related. So I'm sifting through thousands of I found the Museum of Illusion one, but where's this? I'm not gonna be able to find it. But oh, here we go. Let me just see if it's actually it's not under embargo.
By the way, Thomas, you're up late, aren't you?
Oh, I'm working for a show on Saturday. Yeah, I'm just researching stuff. So
here we go.
I'm up late, always up late.
Let me just. I've actually found this here. It's a Kickstarter. Even though I'm not going to review it, I'm going to. Hopefully, I feel like I'm going to give them free promotion here. But let me just. It's just so absurd that I need to show this. Let me just stop sharing that screen. Let me show you the next one. Here we go. This is here we go. So it's like, see, it's like, yeah. So
oh my gosh.
So I don't think is it a rock, or have they made it look like that?
They've made it some sort of shell, haven't they? Yeah.
In the urban jungle, we often feel busy, and repressed.
Yeah,
so
comfort and
philosophical watch. Yeah, there it is.
Yeah.
Philosophy.
Yeah, Eastern philosophy, there's a concept of the unity of heaven and man, which implies the harmony of unity in man and nature. Therefore, we take as much material as possible from nature and look for inspiration. But is it a rock?
Boy, it'd be pretty heavy.
Yeah, or if they have just made it to look like that. 6 eye pressures.
Yeah, Russell 996 said Fred Flintstone's watch on the Rock watch. This is Fred Flintstone's watch.
Yeah, because it's got the striations of if it's meteorite.
Yeah.
Undergoes a fine process for an hour of 6-axle carving, a detailed mounting texture, finally a vacuum environment, the material. Oh, maybe it's crystallized. Maybe it's crystallized steel.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Naturally forming delicate network of veins on the surface resembling blossoming ice flowers. So maybe it's that metal, the what they do on the G-Shocks.
Oh. No, it's definitely different. I got to give them credit.
It's very different, isn't it?
Yeah, I won't be.
Huh.
I mean,
so a lot of the time. Review it.
Well, the other thing is as well, it's a lot of. No, I mean a lot of times it's how would I spin a narrative around it, and this one I think you'd have to go very extreme on it, wouldn't you? But no, I mean I've given them a bit of free publicity there. They're called what was it? Nervo. They're called Navamos.
Okay. And it's made out of titanium. So they do this superheated titanium. Wait, is it $9,724? Oh no, that's their pledge. Okay, I'm sorry.
That's how much they've raised so far.
That's how much they've raised. Okay, I was about to have a cow.
So it's $406.
Yeah.
Dollars.
Oh, okay, so you buy into it at 406. Okay. What's the movement? Probably a Seiko.
Yeah, let's have a look. FAQ.
It's said earlier on.
What is the watch? What are the watches made of? High quality titanium alloy, sapphire crystals. Let's just see about sapphire. Let's just see. Let's look what the. Does it say what the movement is?
So if they were to do this, if they were to do that for a dial, and then case it in something that's more, let's say, normal, I think that would be interesting.
Yeah, the crystallized
titanium and a dial like on a nice 42 millimeter sport watch. I think that would be pretty cool.
We've got a super chat from Thelonious.
Oh, thank you very much.
Thank you, Thelonious Monk.
There you go. Excellent.
Yeah, sorry. Cheers. Thank you very much, Thelonious. Thank you very, very much. Fortis Vagabond.
Who is the target customer for this? And lots of laughs. And
let's have a look.
also, the Miss having the Sunday streams. Welcome back, Sam.
Yeah, let's have a look. Fortis.
That was a like a heavy metal.
Oh yeah,
band member. That would be pretty good for.
Do you know what? After we've done this, I went into Bremont as well. So I need to.
Did you?
About that. Yeah.
Okay.
So this is the Fortis Vagabond.
Oh,
why can't I click on it? Why? Yes. Why is it not letting me click on it? Oh, it wants me to sign up to mail. I'm trying. I'm kind of clicking on these guys, but nothing's happening.
Yeah, nothing's coming up.
Yeah, it's so it's a fourth. It looks small.
Can you zoom in on it? Can you zoom in on it?
No, it's just as soon as it's just resizing itself.
That's weird.
Yeah, let's go to see if it's Vagabond. Here we go. Okay, let's see if it'll let me click on it. God, that is weird, isn't it? It's not letting me click on this.
Yeah. Can you reload that website?
Yeah.
Okay.
Vagabond okay, so Vagabond explains Stormy Grey block dial. So it's a GMT. It's got
monochromatic.
The numbers are kind of go upside down a little bit. It's got unusual numbers, hasn't it? 1, 3, 5, 7, 6, and 11. Kind of
is it like the Frank Muller Crazy Hours?
No, I don't think it's I don't. It may be, but I don't think it is.
Or is it a 24-hour dial?
No, it's just that the numbers are different. It's got 11 there. One instead of it doing like
ring. Okay.
Yeah, it's got 3 and 9, but it's also got 5 and 7, so you don't often see that.
So it's like a glycine, not the original Airman Thomas, but like the whatever they want to call that, the other Airman that has it's a regular 12-hour watch, but it has a 24-hour indicator on the inside, so you have to keep track of how many times it's going around, I guess.
Yeah.
Do a close up on that dial again.
Yeah, it's
so there. One of the look at that. I think that's right there. Yeah. I like that actually. That's JLC. The Polaris is done as a similar finish, a pebbly pebbly finish. I like that.
Yeah. So that's interesting. So it's 6,800. So that's quite a lot.
That is a little.
Wow, that is a lot.
Pricey.
So Vagabond is a automatic manufacturer caliber. So in-house. So it's titanium grade 5. Let's view all the specs.
Oh, it's 46.5 lug to lug. That's a nice size. 40 millimeter. That's a great size. Yeah. What's that?
Work 13 automatic manufacturer caliber, 70-hour power reserve, weekend proof. Oh, there we go. It's just for some reason. It's just I didn't click on that for some reason. It's actually is it wanting me to order it? Proceed to checkout. Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a couple colorways, right? I saw the other one. There was another one there that was less monochrome. Yeah, that one.
Blue.
I like that blue. I'm sucker for a blue dial like that.
They've still got the. I've noticed that they've stopped calling these the Cosmonaut.
Yeah, my new old Cosmonaut is upstairs. I don't have it down.
Yeah, I think
one I just got.
Yes, I wonder whether they don't. Oh yeah, here we go. Actually, look. Oh, the Cosmonauts Fortis. So it does. They do make reference to it, but they just don't.
Okay, there it is. That's the the new version, right? I like the. It's really a beautiful watch. I like the dial. The bezel. A lot.
Yeah, these used to be. I'm sure these used to be like $1,500 or $1,700. I'm kicking myself I didn't buy one at the time because they're like $5,000 now. I mean, I think they've changed the movement in them, but
yeah, you can get them used at a much better price. I stole the one that I got which is the first gen Cosmonaut, the official one, and with the 5100 movement in it. Just lost the manufacturer in my head, but I got that off a UK, no, German auction. It just went for 600 euros.
So
and I
is
took
it this one,
yeah.
or is it the Lamania?
It's the one that has the Lamania or the
Yeah.
5100, whichever. I forgot if it's Lamania or if it's shoot. Yeah, I could look, but yeah.
Yeah, because
So they
this
stopped making that in the 90s.
Fortis, yeah, Fortis was kind of brought back to life by, was it an enthusiast bought it or something? Because they were going to go under, weren't they? They were like the only family run or one of the few family run Swiss brands, weren't they? And they nearly went under. And then I think that an enthusiast maybe bought them.
It might
or
have been.
something.
Yeah, I've forgotten the story.
I can't remember the exact story.
Is he
But,
using the Lamania 5100?
Yeah, Lamania 5100.
Right.
It runs like a scalded dog too. It's I don't know about the service history, but it runs really well. It's a simple, it's a workhorse movement before the 7750, right, Thomas? And it runs really, really well. It's a fairly simple architecture, which is kind of what you want in space. And it's a great watch. I'm really impressed with it. It's thick, but I like a thick watch. Normally.
Yeah.
If I'm not under cuff.
Have you fellas discussed the 50 fathoms? Have we discussed the 50 fathoms? 50 phantoms. Sorry, 50 phantoms.
50 Phantoms. That was a spinning
new
one,
one,
wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
New one with the ghost bezel. I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Spinnaker. Yeah, Spinnaker kind of caught lightning in a bottle because I reviewed a lot of Spinnaker watches, but to be honest, I think they're great, but they don't get a lot of views on YouTube, to be honest. And so I've kind of I haven't done one for a while, even though they're very good over there.
I'm just selling one at the moment, actually.
This 50 Phantoms.
Are you?
No, 50 Phantoms, but the Spinnaker watch.
Oh, okay.
It's called the Wreck.
Yeah.
Oh, the Wreck. I remember when they came out with that. That's a really big one.
Yeah.
Is it the Big Diver?
Or it's the 4-stage one. They made it look 4-staged. Yeah,
the 4-stage one.
Yeah. Do you know a Spinnaker and what was the other brand that I was reviewing? Spinnaker and Phoebus. I think they could both get away, and I think Spinnaker have done this, but I think they could both get away with putting leveling up the movement in there, putting like Miyota 9000 series in there, because they're very loyal to the NH35A, aren't they? Which is fine, but they could also, the cases and the bezels and the dials and the hands are so good on these now that they could probably get away with ratcheting.
That's one I have. I have the Phantom Classic with the blue dial.
Yeah, with all the ghosts on it.
I have all the ghosts
on it. Yeah.
Yeah. Because they sold out like that. I think that took Spinnaker by surprise, didn't it? Because they sold out very fast, which is
they've done loads of them. I think it was a classic second. Sell out the door straight away, and I think it was rightfully so. I think it was quite a good watch, that one with the 50 ghosts on it, but. The new one I quite like as well with this.
I do too.
One ghost at 6 o'clock, isn't it? And then
one ghost at 6 that has the X through them.
Oh, so like
radiation symbol instead of the radiation symbol, it's a ghost with an X. Yeah, it's really clever.
And then it's got. Oh, okay. So is this? So this ghost is this like is the big ghost like a 10 or something? Is it how?
Maybe it is.
Make reference to something.
It's almost like a countdown bezel, except it's a little opposite.
It's like a radiation, like Todd said. It's like a radiation symbol,
Yeah.
So it's a ghost. It's like a Pac-Man ghost. With an X through it.
Yeah.
It's,
and these are well built. The one I have is really a well built watch. It cost less than $400, I think, when I bought it, and I think they offer. Again, we can get argue in value and luxury, but in terms of novelty and just something fun, this is really it.
The new Spinnaker has a Miyota 9000 series in it.
Oh, okay.
Which this one?
Yes, there is. I think there is a ghost date on mine too. Actually, I'm trying to remember now. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, I think there's a ghost date, and you could also have ordered it with the ghost bezel. So, which was just too much for me, so I got it with the regular bezel. But
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah, no,
Nice.
good shout. So next up, I went into.
Oh yeah, the Flus 40. Thank you, Phonius. Yeah, the Flus 40 millimeter. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I went into Bremont. So I'll show you. I went into Bremont in Manchester because I keep asking about my Bremont with the I want the rubber band for it, the rubber strap.
Yeah.
And so I went in, I was chatting to them. The door's locked, so you can have a knock. But it's quite a big store. It's so funny because I remember it being an internet cafe back in the day. It was like the internet cafe we went into, but now it's a Bremont store. And I was asking them. I saw some of these, and I saw this blue one. I mean, they even in person they look a bit weird. But I asked them about how they were selling, and he said they're selling okay. But what he did say, which I thought was interesting, was he was saying that they're not selling these to their traditional Bremont fan base that they had.
Really?
They're selling them more to new. Yeah, they're selling them to more new people. And in fact,
all the fanboys have been put off by the new branding, and
I think the new direction.
They're selling to a new market.
Yeah,
right. That's interesting.
Which is interesting. Yeah. So it's weird, isn't it, that there's this, but. This one with not really this green ceramic one, but this one actually looked quite good in person than their take on the I don't know, Submariner or whatever. But I mean, I really like my Bremont, but I let's just see if we've got diving watches.
Yours is the old style Bremont, though, isn't it?
Yeah,
the new style.
Mine's this is my one.
Yeah, that's a nice dial and rub bezel combo. I like that a lot.
And the case is just beautifully made, the way that it kind of slopes down there.
Yeah.
I should wear it more actually, but I saw this one in person and it was quite nice.
Okay.
And then
I'm still a big fan of the Martin Baker, the MB2.
They must do, mustn't they? Do they still sell that?
I think they must still sell the Martin Baker. They must still do that collaboration. You would have thought
this one. Yeah, there you go. This one.
Yeah, there you go. That's the one with the orange.
It's what you want to wear when you get ejected out of a fighter aircraft. You want to wear.
Exactly. I really like that. This is the watch that actually turned my attention to Bremont years ago when it first came out. I was in Selfridge's watch. I forgot what they call it. The watch gallery, I think it's called, in Selfridge's, and I went over and one of the sales assistants had one of these in his hand, and he was showing me it and telling me the story about how they tested in ejector seats, and I fell for it straight away because I'm a big military watch fan. And, fell for this story of how they're tested in ejector seats, and I thought it was a great watch, but it's they wanted about £5,000 for it or something, £4,000 or £5,000.
£5,000 here. Yeah, it's £5,000 here.
Yeah, and it's I thought it was a lot of money, but because you could get
a lot of money.
You could get all the other brands of watches. Their top models were going for it, Breitling, Omega, Zenith. All their top models, all their mid-tier models were going for the same money.
Yeah,
I couldn't really justify it.
Yeah, they definitely were a bit cheeky on their pricing, and then I mean, I got mine for a discount new, and then obviously we saw how Dinky just fire sailing them, didn't we? Unfortunately, I mean, they were selling it even cheaper than what I'd got my my one for. Yeah, it's going to be an interesting time for Bremont, isn't it? I guess we'll see whether they survive out the year.
Yeah, I hope they do.
Yeah,
absolutely. It's important.
I'm
Yeah,
not
I've
falling
seen-
for the land. I'm not falling for the land. This Lancy. Is it David Serrato, the new CEO? Is that what he's called? David something Serrato. I think it's David Serrato.
Yeah, because the two brothers are. Yeah, it is David Serrato. Yeah,
The English brothers don't hold much.
they're like one.
equity
Yeah,
in it.
it's like a nominal stock, isn't it? It's like the
They
nominal
don't
stock.
hold-
But they're not.
Yeah, they don't hold much equity in it anymore. It's been run by this fella, headed up by this fella, and David Serrato, and he's spinning this land. I mean, we've seen the land one, which looks like a Hamilton field watch.
Mhm.
I haven't seen much of the sea or air ones. I suppose the air could be the Martin Baker ones, but I haven't seen the sea ones, the dive
these
watches.
ones.
All right, so these
Yeah.
are the dive watches.
These are the dive watches. Yeah, I mean these are the new
Right.
ceramic ones, but yeah. So this is the land, and then this is the sea that they've gone for, this generic.
Right.
But I mean, I saw
right.
this in person. It actually looks. One of the things that the hands look weird. I think in these renders, they're not actually that bad, but not good that I would buy one. You know, they're not that.
Yeah.
It's not that good.
Mhm. Looking here.
So
Yeah, that doesn't look too brilliant to me. To be honest, what's the price on that? 3,000.
3,100
Yeah.
on a
That's
rubber.
not-
Yeah, it's not. I mean, because their previous one, which was the what was the previous one called? I was just today up there, didn't it? Diving watches. Here we go. Because the previous one, which was the double crown, like compressor style looking one, I always thought that one looked quite good. Where is it? I just had it up before.
Submarine, was it?
No, yeah. This is the dive watch, but no, it's the I'm thinking of where is it? I literally just had that up before. I was looking at it before. Let's have a look. Is it here? Oh, it's in this. It's in this one. This one, the Argonaut. Argonaut.
Right.
This one. I always like the look of this one. 4,200. Okay.
Yeah, not bad.
Yeah, I do. I'm sorry, I was looking down at my phone to send you some pictures from the Red Bar Philadelphia, Sam.
Oh yeah.
you
Let
wanna
me
Show some pictures of that. But I like, yeah, I like the case design. It's kind of Grand Seiko-y.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah. Let me just. Yeah. Do you want me to show some of these, Todd? Do you want me to pull them up?
Yeah. Whenever you want to. If we want to, I can just
Yeah,
kind of go over a little bit about
Yeah,
the
I'm
Red
just
Bar
having
Philly.
Yeah, just give me a second. I'm just trying to.
Sure, take your time.
For some reason, I've got to download them. It's being annoying. It's saying I've got to download them one by one. Let me just do. Oh yeah, you don't actually. Well, when we do show them, there are some quite good ones here. Just bear me a second, caller.
Yeah, any watch with an orange minute hand. I'm a big fan of Doc's this Plo Prof, things like that. You know, that's
Here we go.
usually an easy selling point for me.
Yeah, I like it. I like it too. Yeah.
Let me just pull up what you shared. Here we go. Okay. So I know nothing about this, so you'll have to enlighten us. So
yeah, so this was the so there were 5 vendors. There was on Studio Underdog. So it was a red bar with some of the vendors that were at Watch Windup in New York City. And so they came down for this red bar in Philly. And so it was Studio Underdog. We had Formex, we had Christopher Ward, we had Fears. So Nicholas from Fears was there, and then we have had Dave was there with Haraj.
Okay.
And so there's Dave talking with, and so the good thing. So you see what that. I'll grab it here. Sorry about that. You see that book that they're on.
Oh
that
yeah,
says Haraj Engineering or Engineering the Haraj. So here it is.
Oh, very good.
And they're their owner, who I got to meet there too, gave me really nice.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, that's nice. Lovely.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
look, dedication.
he signed it, and Dave signed it right there. And
that's really cool, isn't
they
it?
self-produced this book, and it is really, really good.
Awesome.
So fantastic work.
So they were selling the books as well as the watches.
Yeah, I guess I was a fellow engineer, so they jumped on it because that's what they do. They do a lot of the engineering. But their movements, so the movements were there, including the tourbillon, which I think I sent you a picture of one of the tourbillon watches.
Oh, let me. It wasn't.
Did I know?
Was it
See
this
the white
one?
one?
Oh, hang on. Is it this one? No.
No, that's my favorite though. I really liked that watch.
That's nice.
It's kind of
That
an
is
old
nice, isn't
school. Yeah, it's and what it is the way it's and Dave showed it to me. You can do it to find out like exposure times and stuff like that, and you dial it one way, and then you flip it upside down. It tells you.
Oh, camera exposure times.
Yeah, camera exposures and stuff like that. It was really interesting because they borrowed it off of an old light meter.
Oh, yeah, okay.
That's where it comes from, is an old light meter, like a Leica, or I forgot which one that you were talking about, but
that's nice and quirky. That I like it.
Yeah, it is. It's a little quirky. It's not cheap. It has their proprietary movements, so their movements they make all in house, and the movements are stunning.
Right. Okay.
And that's their K2. I think they call it a K2 movement. It's like a $7,000 watch.
Wow.
So it's not a small investment.
Let's
really beautiful work.
This is the tourbillon you're talking about, the white one.
Yeah, see the white one.
I reviewed this one, not the tourbillon, but I've reviewed this one. I forget which the K1 or I forget which model it was, but yeah.
And there's one of their movements on the very left. They were, they had some in little cases. You can see how they worked. They had their micro rotor movement there. It was a pretty impressive engineering. They had one of their watchmakers was there. It was a nice showing of capability for sure.
Oh, Hasselblad, yeah, Hasselblad.
That's it. That's the light meter that they're did that one from, which was
I've reviewed this one. In fact, that's probably the actual one I did review. I've reviewed this one. Amazing. The build quality is just absolutely fantastic. And that one had a tungsten micro rotor, the one that I reviewed. And then you've got, because it was quite a big setup then.
Quite a big turnout. That just from one corner of the room. So Fears is behind me to the left there, which you can't see. So you see Christopher Ward. So I got to talk to
there's Mike.
Yep. I wore my bel canto when I was there. So I got to do that. And then you can see there's a big pile of folks right there right now that's in front of Haraj, and Studio Underdog was over there.
And you saw the new Studio Underdog there.
That's their new one of the new dials. It's not so that one is not inexpensive because it's got a higher end movement. I forgot.
It's not the regular, isn't it?
Yeah, I think you're right.
Is that the salmon they're calling it?
Yeah, and they had a salmon. They had like a stuffed toy salmon, there with that.
Yeah,
and it's $2,000. So it's an up. They're going to a little bit more upscale with that movement, but it was really, really nice, really great dial.
Okay, let me. I'm just trying to pull up your other ones as well. Your ones with your selfies with the
famous people.
Yeah, let's have a look here. See if I can. Yeah, let me just remove that one. Stop sharing, and then we'll present.
Share screen. Steve McDonald says, listening to Nicholas on here convinced me to go to the boutique in Clifton and get a Brunswick. Great experience for bringing them to my attention, Sam.
Oh, there we go. There's the man himself.
Nicholas. I was almost as well dressed as he was. Not quite. But
no.
Yeah, and Nicholas, let me tell you, so that's the first time I got to meet him. Yeah, he is such an interesting fellow, and we were just in conversation for like 45 minutes. He was like, I was the only person there is how he was talking with me, and actually somebody came in right afterwards and said, I've been trying to talk to you. I felt bad, but yeah, I got to see all his watches in the flesh, and at least all the ones they brought. The Jump Hour, which is an amazing watch. What else? The one I really liked is I don't have a I don't know if I have a picture. I mean, I don't know why I didn't send to you. It's the Mother of Pearl.
Yeah. It's amazing, that, isn't it? It's
that is an amazing dial.
Yeah.
And so I think at some point when the Fears is in my life, I think I want that dial. It's
spectacular, isn't it? It's the way that, because he's sourced it specially, hasn't he? That the blue Mother of Lucy at Watchbox Diaries, she reviewed that one.
She reviewed it, yeah.
It is spectacular in person. My wife loves the platinum one, the platinum one that's like 30,000 with the diamonds and everything.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed reviewing that Fears that I had. The I enjoyed that one. But yeah, the Brunswick is their sort of iconic model, isn't it? At the moment?
Yeah, I like the silver Brunswick they did as well. Did they have that one there, Todd?
Yeah,
the silver one. That was quite nice. But
I'm looking at it now. Yeah. The orchid.
My favorite is the classic salmon Brunswick 38.
That was a favorite of mine too. Yeah, they had one of those too.
Salmon dial. It's a copper salmon dial. It's beautiful. With the skeleton hands, skeletonized hands.
Yeah, so it was really their work on the case and the dials were, really fundamentally just amazing. That's what stands out on Fears watch to me is that.
What somebody's asking whether Dave was wearing a Namos, but
a Nomos? No, no, he was wearing he was wearing an Apple Watch.
Yeah, he was. I saw that he was like double wristing, wasn't he? It was so funny because somebody took a picture. Was it you that took the picture of him at Wind Up, and he was wearing the Apple Watch? It was. Let me just see if you've
at least part of the time he was wearing the Apple Watch, and then I think he put a Haraj on at one point. Or no, he had a Haraj on one wrist, and the Apple Watch on the other. There's
somebody else that took a picture of it. You can't really see it there, can you? But this here is an Apple Watch.
That's his Apple Watch, and the other one was a Haraj.
Yeah. So,
and Brandon, so you bought the Brunswick 40 millimeter flamingo pink. Yeah. Good for you. Got a wind up. Okay.
Yeah,
nice. Yeah, that was a really nice watch.
Yeah. Yeah, they and that case and everything, and their level of finishing and attention to detail is awesome. And it's you pay a premium for it, but it's certainly got the silver dial on light blue strap. It's amazing. The hands. Oh, here we go. So Steve says, got the silver dial on a light blue strap. It's amazing. The hands are numeral. Yes, they are. That's something that Nicholas really prides himself on. I'd love to see the Jump Hour actually. That would interest me.
Yes,
I would as well.
With the coral dial was a really fantastic watch, and the way the dial was and detail was really phenomenal.
Yeah, let's pull it up. It's so I'm smiling because when I got a preview of Nicholas sent me a preview of the coral dial. So I said and he didn't send the names over. So I was like, I love the electric peach. And he's like, no, it's not. It's coral. So I was like, no. It's electric peach. And then I renamed them all. So let me just let's get the Fears watches.
They did a boutique only green as well, which looks gorgeous.
Yeah. So I told him that let me just pull them up here. I'll show you. So I told him that I said that so I said that this was electric peach. The green one I said was Christmas tree, and then this one was 50 Shades of Charcoal.
And there's a lot of subtlety to that dial, the way the grooves, he has it grooved in the center like a record almost, and then there's a different pattern on the outside of the black. Really a lot of tremendous detail.
So did you get to play with it at all? Did you get to see it, the hour?
I got to put them on wrists. And so Nicholas pointed out to me, and he's right. So when you turn the hands, and as soon as that hand gets to 12 o'clock, that hour just goes bang.
Yeah,
and it's almost like the minute, or rather the hour repeater from Christopher Ward. You hear it when it changes over that hour. It's like boom, and
it's a similar movement. It's the same module, isn't it? This movement is the same bel canto, but with a different module. They've used this.
The base is the same. Yeah,
because the original Alliance 01 was the Christopher Ward and Fizz collaboration made for British Watchmakers Day. The red dial one, the original one.
Mm-hmm.
So I think Christopher Ward might have a hand in it. I don't know. I'm not sure. I think this is
their FS. Is it? Do they call it the FS01? Is or something? Is the movement? I think this has. I think this has that Christopher Ward movement in it. I think this is a Salita based.
Oh, with a module on top.
Movement. Yeah, look, Christopher
Ward. Christopher Ward built that jump hour movement.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, the Christopher Ward JJ01 module, the Salita SW200. So yes, it is that jump hour movement.
It's impressive. And the other thing too, though, is that their bracelets, the Fierce bracelets, are wonderful. I mean, it is one of the best bracelets. It wasn't sized for me, obviously, so I kind of had to hold it, but it was one of the best bracelets.
I was actually teasing. I probably shouldn't say this because I'm a big Christopher Ward fan, but I was teasing Nicholas, saying that how Christopher Ward, they have such a good relationship that Christopher Ward may have borrowed some elements of his strap to make the consort bracelet. But yes, they are amazing. His case finishing and everything. Just really cool to see some just awesome British brands now. I mean, there's also we've also always had British brands, but that there's this new.
It was really cool.
Excellent. Yeah,
it was a lot of fun. Enjoyed it a lot.
Yeah, excellent, cool. So I went over my UK trip. Is there anything we missed? Do you know? Has anybody? Let's just flip for a second, because I was actually thought I was going to talk about this, but we didn't. I think. Has anybody been clocking these? Let me just see. These Timex watches. These deep water Timexes. They're all every single. Yeah, there's a mechanical version. So this is a mechanical titanium here. Then there's a stainless steel quartz. Then a GMT with bracelet, GMT without bracelet, titanium in quartz, and they released them last.
The expeditions, are they?
No, they're called Timex Deep Water. They're a dedicated dive watch. A little bit of a cheeky nod to the 62 MAS, but
look at that skin diver case. Yep.
Yeah. Every single one is sold out.
Really?
Really?
All of the mechanical. Yeah, look, out of stock. Wow. Out of stock. So this is a titanium quartz watch for less than $200, and then the mechanical one was less than $500, and then the stainless steel on bracelet $269, or stainless steel on rubber $199. So I think they've just managed to capture lightning in a bottle. I know Watch Chris just did a review of them. He liked them, but apparently there is a little bit of a quirkiness between the loom on the hands and the loom on the dial. But overall, he gave it a glowing. This actual titanium one here has a wave dial as well.
They borrowed something right out of Omega's basket, didn't they?
Yeah. Yeah, so it's a little bit of a homage, isn't it? You've got a little bit of
Yep.
62 MAS in there, a little bit of an Omega, and then I think the indices are like a block loom as well. I don't know if it's like the
Yeah, the
Luma Bright or
indices
whatever.
are Seiko, and I would argue that the bezel's Seiko.
Yeah. But it's I was waiting to, because I was like, oh, I'll order one to review one, but I'll wait till I get back to the US so that it, you know, I don't have to worry about it arriving whilst I'm away.
What
By the
about that
time I was
second hand? Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt you. The second hand, it's a marshmallow on a stick.
the marshmallow second hand. But yeah, and every single one are sold out. So I've done the notify me, but yeah, I can't wait to get my hands on one and review one. I wonder whether I don't know whether I can borrow Watch Chris's one. I'll actually have to ask him. But
they're good looking watches. For the money, that's tough to beat.
Yeah, it really is, isn't it? And I would 100% go for the quartz one. You know, Timex fit and finish is always. Well, I mean, sometimes the bracelets are real dodgy. But
yeah, I was gonna say the bracelet's probably no good. I'd get one on a rubber strap.
Yeah,
but
they've also done this interesting sort of loop back rubber strap, like the Apple Watch, or I think that Tissot, doesn't it? The Tissot carbon fiber one has that loop back strap.
I've been getting a lot of emails from Timex recently saying 30% off pre Black Friday sale.
Yeah. There's been a couple of there has been one of the watches that I thought was a good deal in that sale was it might be the Expedition series, it might not be on here. They had the Tide Graph one, which I also like the look of in that sale, but I'm not gonna find it now. But yeah, they seem to be really tidying up their. Oh, look at that 219 for stainless steel bracelet, black. See, look, that one's sold out as well. That's a good looking.
That's a good looking watch.
Yeah, it is a good looking watch. I'll have to get my hands on one.
Yeah, definitely. And the hands are unique too. I can't place, though. I mean, you can see they borrowed some design elements, which is fine, but I don't know where those hands came from. Or those may be unique, and maybe somebody in the chat knows. But
yeah, they're kind of missing a section. But yeah, it is a really good.
Oh, Mark says Mito Ocean Star.
Okay, yeah, that might.
Maybe you're right. That's a good watch. The Mito is a nice watch. But I haven't seen one lately. So.
Oh yeah, there you go.
See, we're here. We're responsive here, folks. Look at this. Oh
Look
man,
at this.
you nailed it. Thank you.
Yes, in fact, they're actually bang on, aren't they? They are bang on.
Has that got wave dial as well?
A little cheeky, yeah. That's actually got two.
So it's in the Aqua Racer. We've seen the Seiko.
I like that dial.
We haven't seen the Seiko. We've seen a Timex. We've seen a Mido, and then there's the Omega, all with wave dials.
That's a unique wave dial, though.
It seems to be the thing of the moment, doesn't it? Wave dials.
Yeah. That's a good price. Now that we're looking at the Mido, I like that a lot. $1,200 with a Powermatic 80. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know who else actually? While we're on this, Longines has tidied up the Hydro Conquest. So they've made a Hydro Conquest that's a little less. Let me just see if I can find it. Because when I was watch shopping with Sam, see this Hydro Conquest, they've kind of made it look a little bit more generic watch, you know, without the sort of wing nut crown guards. And when you see it in person, it looks very much like they've gone more generic with it instead of this one, which has the very pronounced sort of wing nut type of crown and all of that. They've gone very sort of mainstream with it, for lack of a better word. So I don't know whether they are trying to, instead of having like this pronounced shape, it looks very mainstream, generic. There you go. You can see it there. It's got just a sort of a standard dive watch look to it.
It's a good looking watch though, but
yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
I think Longines is one of the big winners for this year and maybe the last year or two. I really think what they've done with their Heritage series and other things, I think they really are. I don't know what their sales are. I was surprised too that Longines is one of the larger sellers of Swiss watches.
Yeah,
what something like number 4 or 5 or something, and I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, I love the Spirit. Yep.
This is real. This is really nice in person. I saw this a really nice, minute hand that goes all the way to the outer track. Really good looking watch.
Yeah, that is.
Yeah, cool.
I'm reading Von Krull's comments on the loudness of a Seiko, of a Timex quartz. He's right. I've got an old one upstairs in my room, and I couldn't put it on a flat. I couldn't, like, a shelf or anything, because it was like the Telltale Heart from Edgar Allan Poe. It was like,
you can't come
really, and it was a quartz movement, and it was a quartz that was doing that.
He's right. You can't put it on something that resonates at all.
Oh, that's weird. I've had old pocket watches that you have to hide in several socks because they're just so noisy when at night. But no, I can't remember a quartz watch that I've. Although I
don't know what it is.
Maybe Timex Digitals, maybe in the past.
Yeah, but this.
Well, if I can get my hands on it.
Really cheap, like a $20 Timex with a quartz analog movement. It's
the one I really like is the standard. It's called the Timex Standard. I've really got real.
Is it like a current model or?
Yeah, it's a current model. Yeah, it's just it's got a broad arrow hand, black dial broad arrow hand. It's probably about $100.
They're like the Omega looking one.
The Omega looking one, yeah.
Gosh, they didn't borrow Railmaster at all.
No, it's a Railmaster all over. Railmaster all over, isn't it? Quartz Railmaster.
Yeah,
I love it.
It's beautiful. It's a good looking watch. Yeah,
it's Indiglo as well. It's Indiglo as well. So
Indiglo is one of the best things that they've come up with. It's really, really good.
Actually, this was that watch that I was talking about before. That this was on offer at 30% off. I thought it was a decent deal at 30% off. The Tide one.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't know if I like it for $250. And that's got I think that's an internal Cyclops, is it? Oh no, it's external. But
definitely see the date on that, Sam.
Yeah, there you go.
Is that what's at 3 o'clock? What's the dial?
It's that's the
Is that a chronograph of some sort?
I think so. Let's have a look. It's a time and tide, wait for no man. Luckily, the expedition slack tide keeps track of both. With our seafaring fork in mind. The time is 200-meter water resistant unidirectional rotating bezel. Although it's easy to set the tide tracking function.
Okay.
That's really at the helm of the design. Indication on the dial with blue hand. This unique component tracks the ebb and flow. EBB.
Okay.
Ebb and flow.
Yeah.
So how does that work then? It's just a ebb and flow of the local tide for any location on Earth, taking the guesswork out of coordinating your next surf or sail. I can't imagine how that would.
Yeah, I don't know how you use that. I'd have to look.
Unless you just time, just time between. Is it just time between the tide rolling of the tide or something, and then you can work it out? Who knows? Somebody will know. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there we go. Awesome. Well, is there any more questions coming through?
I like good comments.
Yeah, all good comments. Yeah.
I just noticed that Mark is on there in the comments, but he's not on the live stream.
No.
He says use a swatch to cover the Timex noise.
Yeah, I saw those new. They've done a new set of Keith Haring swatches, haven't they? But they've made them the square
really?
ones. Yeah, they've done the actual square version. Let's have a look. Swatch new arrivals. Yeah, here you go. It's just kind of they've done the Keith Haring watch, but they've made them in the rectangle square ones.
Oh, that's cool. I really like that.
Yeah. They should have stuck to these sort of Keith Haring designs in the last set that they did.
Mm-hmm.
On the
They're
archive.
really cool. I really like those.
Yeah.
And these are good when you see them in person because the crystal, that box shape looks really cool in person.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not really my style. I wouldn't really wear it.
I mean, I think it's cool. I don't think I'd ever wear it, but
No, I don't think I'd wear it. It looks really funky though.
It does look
it's really nice.
cool.
For an arty watch, it's really pulls it off really well.
Cool. Awesome. Okay. Well, yeah. I think we've exhausted the holiday photos and the wind up stuff. We'll be back on Sunday. I just wanted to do an impromptu one because I haven't done a live stream for 2 weeks. But yeah, guys, anything you want to say, or should we call it a night?
Yeah, it's call it a night. Yeah,
it's
been a good one.
Cool. Well, thanks guys for joining. Yeah, really appreciate it helping me out here. So thanks, Todd, and thanks Thomas.
Leave a thumbs up, guys.
Yeah, give us a like and a thumbs up. I'll create a thumbnail, and then yeah, if anybody's on TikTok as well, Russell Mad Watch Collector's been trying out. He's been blazing a trail and doing TikTok live streams. They're in the morning for me, East Coast, but I guess they're in the afternoon on. So give him a follow on TikTok because he's been kind of live streaming on there. There's only been a handful of people watching it, and most people actually ask him about his hair instead of watches. But I think as he gets more into it, gets more of a following. Everyone's like, it was funny the first time he did it. All it was like, is that hair real, dude? Is that hair real, dude? Is that hair? It was so good. But he's actually, he's very entertaining. So
he is.
Give him a follow over on TikTok, and
At
also
at least he's got real hair, unlike me and Todd.
No, we don't. I only have fake hair, and it's white and looks like it. English barrister. That's the only hair I have around here.
Oh yeah. Oh, we haven't done a Judge Todd for ages, have we?
We'll have to Judge Todd in years. Wonder why.
I've still got the intro. Yeah. We do need to do it. I've still got the intro.
Cool. Like Max says, you might become the hairy watch collector.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, really. He is. He's got that like monkey style, like group, from the music group type hair. I mean, it's pretty impressive.
Oh yeah, the curly. Yeah, the curly. That's actually. I know it's more people in the UK sort of sporting that haircut. Like, because I've got really when I grew up, I had really curly hair, and it was not cool in the 80s. So I always kept it short. But it seems to be coming back. That one of my friends had kind of let his hair go curly and put mousse in it, and rather than. But anyway. Cool. All right, chaps. Well, thank you so much for watching, and thank you everyone for joining. And we'll end it there.
Everyone.